right. Today I'm going to be doing my first ever drawing tutorial, so I'm a little bit nervous, so forgive me if it's not so good. Anyway, today we're gonna draw G1 Megatron because he's not so hard to draw. Oh, he was, but now he's not. So I draw him a lot. But anyway, so what you're going, and we're going to color him too. So what you need is you need a paper and you need a pencil. I like to use a mechanical pencil because you don't have to sharpen it and the lead doesn't wear down. And oh yeah, here we go. We need a pen and we're gonna color in colored pencils today. All right. And I know my nail polish is all chipped, so just ignore that. I'm gonna get a manicure this weekend. Well, anyway, right. If we can adjust the camera a little bit. All right, there we go. Okay, can you see that? Can you see that? Okay. Move this. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So, okay, so we want the paper to be clearly in front of us, like this. You move the camera. There's the paper. And so I'm gonna take the keyboard off. I'm taping this on my new Surface Pro. So yeah. So that's the closest thing I have to a tripod or anything. So I'm gonna put the camera right here. Should have thought more about positioning. Here we go. Okay. All right, so you all can see that. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do, sorry, I'm charging my phone right now. That's my charger cord. Okay. First thing we're gonna do, see, I'm left-handed, so my hand's gonna be right here. Okay, so first thing we wanna do is we want to draw like a simple like outline of like a head right here. So we got to draw the lines kind of light like this, because that way you can erase it later if you need to, and you have to kind of eyeball it to see if it's uneven. And then this chin is kind of pointy, so we want to fix that. And then so we put our neck like around here, and then the body would be like around here. But anyway, so from now on, like depending on what I want to draw, I might draw the body first and save the head for last, because the head should be in proportion to the body and not the other way around. And we're not going to have any other people in here, and he'll be in like a relatively simple manner, just waving hi to you. Okay. So then we gotta take that stuff and erase it. So yeah, make every line very faint at this stage, because you might need to be able to erase it later. You probably will. Okay, so today we are just gonna start with his head. So this helmet was kind of hard for me to draw at first, but now it's not, because you just need to know what to draw. But he's like different every time, because I'm always deciding how I should draw him. That's why it's kind of fun to draw. So I draw like, so the top of it is kind of rounded like this, but then you get this flat part at the top. Now I want to tell you I'm not the world's most professional artist. I don't know if I'm qualified to give a tutorial, but it just sounded kind of fun. And I just downloaded the Windows camera app, so I'm excited to use it. And so then I'd make it go like this, and not like I used to draw it like this, sort of, and I realized that looks kind of stupid. So don't draw it like that. Just kind of draw it like this. So it kind of looks like a helmet eventually. And so we can, and then so it kind of like goes into his face right here. So you want to do that, and then you kind of want to erase the lines here that were part of the chin, because this obscures his chin, like so. And then those can leave there for a little bit. So this line needs to be kind of sharp here. And then, okay, this arm, this is getting really distracting. Okay. So then this, okay, so then you still gotta eyeball it and see if it looks right to you, because usually, even if you do what you normally do when you draw, if it doesn't look right, that's a big indicator that you've got to change something. So there we go. Beautiful. Okay, and then we gotta, so if there's any little like marks there, then you can leave those there for now, because you can always erase them later before you ink it. And then so I'd want to make it look three-dimensional, so I draw this right here. Then I draw this. Then here. There we go. And then I'll draw this part usually. And then, okay. Oh, I don't know. This is very uncomfortable drawing on my stomach in the middle of the floor. So I'm gonna move this over here. Okay. Okay. So I'm like holding the camera with one hand and holding my paper with the other. So oh, here we go. Oh, you can zoom in on this. Okay. Perfect. Whoa. Okay. Okay, now that I know you can zoom in. Yeah, like I said, I just got this app. So, oh, here we go. All right. How does that look? Okay. Well, I have to touch screen. In. No. Okay. Like, okay. Okay, that's better? Is that better? Okay. So it looks a little bit wider than it actually is. It's like that. All right. So that's 8 minutes long already? Okay. All right. So now we want to do the same thing that we did with the other side of his head, which is like this, and then add the side, okay, and then there's this, which is right. And add these little lines, and just add this line here. Then we add this. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now we gotta do some erasing. Oh, I know. Oh, shit. Okay. See, the paper's kind of folded in half. I should have drawn this a little bigger. Okay. So we got this going here. And then, what we're going to do is we're going to add this and add this. Yep, perfect. And then another thing, oh, I forgot right here. You see that? Okay. Also, sometimes I might like to do this. If you, no, I just realized this head is really, really narrow. Okay. I'm gonna make this a little bit wider. Ah, there we go. Okay. There, that's a little better. And then this is where the structure of the head was, so you got to erase that. Okay, I'm sorry, his head looks so narrow. Okay, then we got to do this, and there you go. Okay, fine. All right. Now, okay. This here again. Okay, so, okay, now, see if you all can see that. I drew his head right here. It looks a lot narrower on the paper, so I don't know how good it's going to turn out. That's pretty good Megatron head, I think. Okay, now I'm going to draw his body, and we can draw his face later. His face is fun to draw. We can do a variety of expressions, which we are going to cover. Sound like a teacher. All right. Oh, I got my hair in the shot. All right. Okay. So oh yeah, and if you want, we can make him look like Megatron Origin and draw these things on his helmet. And like this. Oh yeah, that's perfect. And you can also draw him on his eyes later on. So then I kind of have to eyeball it to see like how far exactly apart his shoulders are and how long his torso is going to be. I usually end up erasing it at some point. So see, I thought it'd be just like a little bit smaller and longer on this side. And then there's several ways you can draw like his torso. There's the way that I did it when I drew him in Megatron Origin mode, which is like the way they draw it in the comics, which is just kind of like that. And this part is like, okay, so I don't remember exactly how I colored it, so here. I'm going to go get that picture now. I had it in my bag. So I didn't draw it in my sketchbook. Or did I? Yes. Oh, yes, I did. Okay. Never mind. Right. And I posted that picture on DeviantArt. It's probably going to end up better than this one, but here's the finished picture that I drew of him a while ago. You can see here where I color tested. And so I really like the way that looks. So you can see that's the way that I drew like the middle part of him. And then that took a little bit of work, but we're going to use that as our guide because I like the way it turned out. So, you know, don't like make it, you know, take that, like he's going to end up a lot smaller, I think. But anyway, so we don't want to make it like that, like straight down. I mean, that's fine if you're just like planning it out, but you don't want it to end up that way. And don't want to make him too skinny like that, because that looks really weird. Instead, his shoulder is really messed up. Okay, and then so this needs to be, okay, you can see my whole arm there. Okay, you guys see that all right? Yeah. Okay, so this part needs to be like completely like square, so it doesn't, so, and you don't have to like erase it like every time you adjust it, like just, you know, you think it needs to be, like say you need to be smaller, just like do that, and then you can erase any extra lines you don't want later on, because we don't want to keep stopping and erasing and all that when we're just going to erase it again, if you know what I mean. So really, I think, okay, well, we can draw him like Megatron Origin, where he had all this like man jewelry on, and then the war paint, and so then you draw this part of him, and like that, and then, well, we want him to look a little bit different than the other drawing I've already done. So I'm not gonna draw like all the extra war paint that I drew there. I wanted to get a little bit creative with it, so I drew it on his stomach and on his shoulders and on his face and head. But here we can just do the helmet, and we don't want to make it too fancy. And so anyway, gotta draw it like kind of like that. This part of him is kind of awkward to draw, but anyway. So then this is the part you're gonna color. You kind of have to like memorize what part you're gonna color, what color, or at least that's what I do. I don't write like red right here. No, I just figure it out later. Okay. Okay. Then we draw another one. Okay. This looks too fat here. Does he look fat? Yes, he does look fat. This line should not be here. This line should be right here. Yes, you know, you see, like, it's not like I just, like, know it. Like, I've memorized how to draw him, but I'll still end up, like, editing as I go, which is what I'm doing here. I mean, this is not drawing out perfect because I'm narrating everything I do. And then, so we've got, I'm using the other drawing as a reference for how to draw this middle part of him, like abdomen, whatever you want to call it. And so we've got this. This is like, I saw this like in a picture of him from the comics. That's what I based it off of, because I'm still like really obsessed with Megatron Origin. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And generally, you are gonna draw his arms next. You can also draw his Decepticon sign, and I'm not good at drawing those, so it kind of looks like the head of a cat. It really does. And then we can draw these things. They're cool. Oh, actually, You don't want those drawn in pencil because we're just going to draw them in pen later. Anyway, we are going to draw his arms next. That's fine. So in this drawing, in this drawing here, which is like, I really like this drawing of him. I drew his shoulders kind of like coming down onto his arms, and I drew these little touches on his wrists and like on his forearms. And I don't know what I did with his hands. They're not big enough. And then I drew his feet like with that yellow thing on them and like all that. And if you can see, I actually colored these with the same color, but this is shaded a little lighter because that's how it is. This is like, or I might have, no, I didn't use gray. And then I actually don't use, why am I talking about the coloring? We're not doing that yet. Okay, so anyway, what I was gonna say is, see, with these, you don't want to draw them in pencil. When you're inking him, you want to draw these because otherwise you're gonna have to trace what you wrote in pencil. See, like here, when I posted the sketch version of this, I wrote Megatron Origin in pencil. Then you can see, like, I kind of erased it there. I don't know if you can see that. But nevertheless, we are going to sort of copy this drawing, but not exactly. So we can kind of just draw his arms like squares because that's how I will usually draw him. Like in this one I did later, which is here. This is from a story I wrote, but this is the one I drew later. Here I just drew his arms kind of like rectangles, and this helmet was not very roundish. And so you see here, and I was a lot less elaborate on his body in general. So that's the kind of thing we'll be doing tonight or today if you're watching this during the day. It's up to you. Okay. So looking back at that picture, I realized his helmet should not be that like long or that wide. So we're gonna do it more like that. Yes, we're going to do it more like this. Totally erase that whole edge. Don't be afraid to start over if it looks really bad, because starting over is better than having a really bad drawing. You know, I'm not mincing words here. Okay. Wait, oh, stop. My hair is getting in the way. Okay. So I'm gonna go back to the other one, which we're gonna use as our model. And anyway, okay, so we're done with his stomach or abdomen or whatever you want to call it. So we can draw his arms now. So I figure we want to draw him like waving like this, or yeah, do you want to draw him waving? Okay, and then he's gonna have his other hand on his hips like that in a jovial manner. Or you want both of his hands on his hips. Yeah, that's better. I'll just draw both of his hands on his hips, and so he will not be waving at us jovially. Well, check that. I'm actually going to draw him waving because then we can draw his arms in two different positions, which will be more educational, even if he kind of looks like he had too much energy on in his... Oh God. I'm need a new pencil. No. And is a little bit too affectionate. Okay. So that's just that. And then oh, it's already been a half an hour. What the heck is that? Okay, so we're gonna draw his hand like this. This is like the rectangle, and so his arm doesn't bend like yours does. It's put into 3 separate parts. So like his shoulder, his middle arm, and his forearm. So he's just only going to be able to move that way. So keep that in mind. And then you want it to look 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional, whatever. So you're going to add a little line here so it looks kind of like a cube. When I do Starscream's arms, I usually draw it like this. Or like that. Yeah, like that. But his is like not in that right position for that. So that's more like if your arm's downwards. So he's going to, and make sure that it doesn't move in a triangle way like that. You don't want that. See if I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. You don't want that. You want a straight line. And I'm telling you, like, when you're just drawing like line art, there are a lot of things you don't have to consider, and you can be a lot more liberal with the shading. But when you are going to be coloring it, and especially inking it, you want to make sure you know where your lines are specifically. Like if you look at my comics, like they're like different, but okay, so you want it like this, if you were following me. Okay. Put it down again. And make this a little bit closer up. And now, okay. So try to get the right amount of zoom here.